is a second time running for this thing. He put his strong candidacy in 2008. Definitely a different, presidential run, with so much online and gaining so much money outside the political action committees and stuff like that. And yet he only gets 2% of the time. And I can't take another front runner. I mean, we've had 7 front runners already in this race, and Ron's always this distant, 15% and getting no respect and no time on the debates. You're never going to find anybody that's been inside the system to speak out against it. And the one guy, and if you ask me which guy I'm most fixated with, it's Eric Sprott, because on the face of it, he's doing so many of the things that I wish I'd be doing if I was a renegade billionaire. And yet I don't get the sense that he really understands what he is doing, in the grand scheme of things. Like, I don't think he sees what a threat he is to the system by investing so much in silver and doing what he's doing. I don't think he has that historical perspective of understanding, really wealthy families like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, and understand that wealth, the power that these men have is not measured in dollars. It's in the nations that they control, and it's the media that they control, and the central banks and the not-for-profit think tanks and all these things. I mean, these are tremendous forces that he's going up against, and I feel like he's like this babe in the woods. It's doing the right thing, and this is a smart investment, and this is a great thing. But his recent move to have available $1.5 billion to invest in physical silver, if any institutions want to invest with him, this could potentially be a move that I don't think he's quite ready for the repercussions of what could possibly come from it. So
maybe he's built his fortress already. You
can't. And this isn't something that you have to attack this system, this status quo system, this Rothschild, Rockefeller, war, debt, media propaganda paradigm outside with a different consciousness. You can't you can't play in their backyard. You can't have anything to do with them. And it's why I encouraged in one of my articles for him not to, invest this money in the Crimex, which I understand that he didn't do that for the PSLV initially, that he goes around the circle. I don't like the idea that he's so enamored with, institutional investment into silver. I get the feeling like it doesn't seem like he's out to, how do I say this, to kind of bring the silver to the masses. It's more about consolidating capital into silver, and I don't like the idea of that. I do like the idea that he did recently of encouraging silver miners to save in silver. And that to me is another, again, bold, dangerous move that,
Well, all these stocks are going to undergo a tremendous transformation because they're going to start paying dividends, and that's the end of the short selling, because you can't float 10 times many shares and then have to pay dividends, on all those shares that you shorted, and they're naked shorted. There's no, the shares don't exist. Yeah. And that will bring it all down. But and
again, it has to be something in the physical world. It's not going to be, in the paper world that's going to happen. The physical silver has to, start going up tremendously in value, and it has to become from, either a physical default or, a huge surge in physical demand. It's not just going to be, the paper price of the COMEX is going to, go up, and that, this is going to be it, because we've already seen it. We've seen silver go from $70 to $50. And yet these mining stocks are,
Hey, let me just read an email that I got from one of your, I don't want to say fans, but don't tread on me, viewer.
Sure.
About Limbaugh. Geesh, why don't you carve his name in a tree already? Are you serious? Limbaugh is a tool. He's no different than O'Reilly or Glenedict Beck or any of those Pied Pipers, as Chris would say. Take the heart-shaped glasses off.
I love it.
I specifically criticized the guy. I mean, I only think he's a good He's great at what he does. He's at the top
Sure.
of his game. I can't respect the guy because he does something better than you and I will ever be able to do it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
come
But that
on.
definitely sounds like somebody's been listening to my my
Yeah,
stuff.
well, I've got 2 or 3 of these already, but some of them are obviously what you would call, just lurkers. But others, like, hey, the guy serves a purpose. In any event, anything you want to cover before we call it a day?
No, I just I got better. I want to get back on getting this Greatest Truth Never Told done, and provide a lot more in-depth content. There's no way. I have so many more thoughts, and there's no way I can get these out in 15 minutes with you, especially because you take up some time too. So the Silver Shield report that I've been doing, I've gotten a tremendous response. We have probably close to 200 people that have signed up. And I have
That's
50
phenomenal.
awesome testimonials on the page just from people saying, wonderful job I'm doing, because this is stuff I can't talk about, in the public domain. I mean, this is more personal stuff. It needs to be vetted out longer. This is something I can't really write about, and I think this has provided something out there that not a lot of other people are talking about. I can't take another article about the banks printing and the politics are crazy, and because all that stuff is going to end at some point. But what are we going to do afterwards? Who's talking about that?
Nobody, because we're obsessed with the present. Nobody can see, and
that's where the real money's made. Nobody's going to make a ton of money from now until the end of this paradigm trying to outwit each other and play cute with this and trade options. No, you're going to make on the margin maybe plus or 10% better than the other guy. But the real wealth is getting out of this consciousness, getting out of this paradigm, getting into real wealth, and getting there way ahead of everybody else and understanding and getting your mind wrapped around it. That's where I think the real value is, and I hope the Silver Shield report helps people progress along that way.
There's no question. Like you say, the testimonials, I've gotten them. I get emails every day from people saying, hey, thank you, for being a breath of fresh air in in an insane world. And that's what we're looking at. Where can they reach you, Chris? Yeah,
just I guess Don't Tread on Me is the best. Don't-tread-on.me. That's the blog. You've been very prolific in the last couple of weeks putting up interviews. But I think the wonderful thing about our blog is that, I'm not territorial with it. I have a lot of contributors. We all bring different voices, different talents. You bring a lot of interviews. I have some guys that do graphics and videos, and it's just been a really cool place to go to. And there's really nothing else out there like it on the net that I know of.
Absolutely. And if anybody needs to reach you, go to kerrylots.com. Got a link on the resource tab. Got shows. Sign up. We're going to start sending out micro video trainings on preparing your financial survival plan, preparing your physical survival plan, and your family survival plan, because you really need 3 of them, right? On that note, we'll catch you next week. Have a fun week ahead and feel better.
Sounds good. Thanks.